Hi friends, it's Wednesday. Who knew? Some of you knew. Some of you have like regular jobs that you guys are still going to and Zoom meetings that last all day long and things like this. So some of you are still probably fully functioning in your real jobs, just like a few weeks ago, but I'm sure it looks completely different. I'm at home just like everybody else most of the time if I'm not volunteering at the food bank, and figuring out what all of this means for me. So I got called out probably a couple weeks ago now, by somebody who knew me pretty well, and she was like, "Oh, you're not talking a lot about this situation that we're in." And I was like, "You're right, I'm not." And I've had a pretty complicated relationship with it, as we all have. We're all entering into this thing that we don't know together, and we all have a completely separate set of circumstances that we're dealing with when we walk into the situation. So, for me, I'm a small business owner. I own 3 businesses that rely on people and events for the most part. So my photography business is completely a person-to-person business, and that has been completely and totally affected by this. As most of you know, I had to shut down my $100 headshots halfway through. Of course, we'll reschedule them, but who knows when we're going to reschedule. And that first week when I was making that decision to reschedule was so hard. That uncertainty, knowing that for me, $100 headshots, yes, there's that booking, but all of those files that are purchased on the back end, that was my March revenue. So I knew by making the choice to be socially conscious, I was making the choice to basically end my revenue in March. And making that decision was really hard, but I knew it was the right one. When people signed up for those shoots, they weren't signing up with COVID-19 in their understanding. So I've been able to do other things like the 6 feet away shoots from people's porches, which have been really fun. If you guys are into that sort of thing, I have one coming up this Sunday, and I also have one coming up next Saturday. So if you want me to come and document your quarantine time, you can wear your PJs, you can wear your Sunday best, whatever you want. They've been really, really fun and I feel very super safe doing them. I haven't been close to anybody at all, so they've just been fun and a great way to exchange energy and time and talent. So pretty much the only thing I'm doing on the photography realm are those 6 feet away shoots. So if that's something that you're interested in, reach out to me. Personal branding has been amazing. Actually, it's really cool to see how that business is translating into this new world where we're all showing up on social all the time. Have you guys noticed that you're starting to see people that you've never seen before? And Brand Launch was really created for this kind of consumption. We are now living in a social world, in a social media world now more than ever. And Your Personal Brand Launch curriculum is literally designed to help people understand how to show up online powerfully and memorably. And so that course is launched and ready to go. It's self-paced. You can start it whenever you want. We're having weekly Zoom calls for people who are in our Showing Up social group on Thursdays at 10:30. I'll post the info for all of this stuff. So that's another way that you can get a little piece of me, do a little something fun, get really specific on your social media during a time when we're all on it anyway. And then hummingbirds. That was an interesting thing to be thinking about because we're in a big technological build stage with that. And I had this realization, the first week this was all happening, it was like hummingbirds is made for right now. It's made for this. So we immediately sent out an email to all of our hummingbirds and said, we're obviously not collecting payment right now for any of these services, but we are going to lift up our city. And so we joined the partnerships, DSM Local Challenge, and our hummingbirds are encouraged to be participating in this and show up for their city. So it's been really cool to see the power of our Hummingbird group and their voices, and to watch our local champions that are in that group really lift up the city right now. So it's been interesting to see how my businesses fit into this world, and then in some ways how, Ivory House doesn't fit in as much right now. On a personal level, I've been hesitant to talk on this space because I've been feeling a lot of guilt, because I'm really, really happy right now. I am like probably the happiest I've ever been. And that has nothing to do with like my income dropped by 80% in 1 week, and it's probably going to stay that way for a couple of months. So like monetarily, this isn't going to be the most profitable time of my life, but I know so many of us can relate to that. But I am an introvert, and nothing has ever proven that to be more true in my life than this time at home. And in a past life, I used to travel a lot, and I left town, at least once a month, and sometimes more than that, to find time and space for myself, because I was not in the habit of finding time and space for myself here. And it's been really interesting to watch as my self-worth can no longer be hinged on the amount of monetary productivity I have every day. Not to say that there isn't some monetary productivity happening in my life, but my day no longer centers around that. It's no longer started and ended by that. Instead, my day is crafted by what makes me feel incredible. And I know I'm in a super privileged position to even say those words out loud. I live alone. My social distancing partner, Eric, still has his own space. We do, he spends a lot of time over here, but I do have a lot of space to have that alone time. I do have a safety net, a small safety net financially, so I'm not immediately concerned. I don't have kids. Some of these things have made this time really peaceful for me. And so it's been, honestly, I haven't known how to show up in this space, because I feel like so many other people have it so much harder than I do. I know they do. So what I feel most of the time is gratitude, just intense gratitude for this time to look inward, this time to realize that the pace I was keeping while I had started to downshift, and I had started to make a lot of really amazing progress in looking at myself and at my habits, is now what I get to focus on most of the time. So I think the thing that I've been thinking about as people have been talking to me and we've been having dialogues as to what's coming up for people in this time, what I'm realizing most is whatever it is, whatever emotion you're feeling most often, whatever preoccupation you're having most often, whatever hurts the most during this time, that was probably the thing that was hurting the most before. So the thing that hurts the most for me right now is my financial situation. I don't have that 6-month savings account that small business owners are supposed to have. And honestly, that is not a point of pride. It's just I always thought that I'm really good at bringing in income. I'm super good at that. I just didn't worry about that, and I tend to live in a really some people would call it risky. I take a lot of risks in business, and I've continued to reinvest and continue to build big ideas with the extra money I have lying around. And when this all happened, all I could think was, I've done it all wrong. Everything that I've invested in, all the things I've built right now are leaving me in a really financially precarious position. And I had that feeling for a couple of days, and I was like, okay, I can sit in this. I can sit in the fear that my money might run out. I can sit in the fear that I could lose my house. I can sit in all of these fears. I could do it. It'd be so easy. It'd be founded. Like, it would be real. And then I was just like, but wait, there's so many incredible things happening right now. Yes, I have the space to create if I want to. Yes, my home is cleaner than ever because I want it to be. Yes, I have friends and family who support me no matter what. Like, my mom lives 5 minutes away. Like, if I really need to go move in with her, I will. But at the end of the day, I just decided to trust. And that trusting myself, trusting, and I'm not talking about trusting infrastructure or government. This is not what I'm trusting right now. I am trusting that the way that I show up in the world and the way that I contribute and the things that I have valued and continue to value will be what I need to prepare me and keep me safe. And I've chosen to just live in that trust and take action every day, have fun with my work when I get to do it, and have fun with reading a ton of books and thinking and not putting intense pressure on myself. And I know that I've built the ability over the past year to have trust in myself right now. And so I guess I'm just here encouraging you guys. We're all having a completely different experience with this. And I can't even imagine some of the hardships that I hear out there. I am still living in a very untouched space here. So I do understand that my mind could shift at any point throughout this. But my personal experience is one of gratitude and trust. And my purpose, because a lot of us right now are thrown into a world where we don't have the same kind of purpose we used to. I know I struggle with that. My purpose is to show up and photograph people and smile and make people feel great about themselves. And so I had to figure out how to do that differently. And so on my Facebook feed every day, I've been posting a photo of somebody and asking people to talk about positive associations with them. And then I realized that I was actually asking people to tell me about their personal brand, which like kind of came full circle. And the people I'm posting are people that lift up this community and care about this community. So like all of, Your Personal Brand launch, Hummingbirds, Ivory House Photography, like collided in this series I'm doing. But that's given me purpose. It's small, it's not a big thing, but it allows me to know that I'm still contributing to the people that care about this city. And that's what I can do. I am not a nurse and I'm not a doctor, and I'm not anything of real, I don't have a profession that's of like real value to keeping us safe right now. I am a person that adds value by building people up and lifting people up. And so that's what I've continued to do in whatever capacity I can. So the other thing that I've done to add purpose and value is put my full weight behind supporting the food bank in whatever way I can. Because every time I walk in there, I'm reminded of how incredibly lucky I am to have the family I have the life that I've built, made the choices that I've made. And if I can walk into that space and support the food bank and support their clients by supporting the food bank, then that gives me an insane amount of purpose. So if you're looking for a way to support your community, the Food Bank of Iowa, keeping people with food in their pantries, the amount of people that are going without work right now is incredible. The amount of people who are thrown into sudden poverty is really, it's just, when I think about those things, it's very easy to just fall apart. And then I think about, the things that disappeared for me so quickly, and I still am not in poverty, and I'm still okay. So if we're still okay and we can give back, and you want some help figuring out how you can give back, please feel free to reach out to me. I'd love to have that conversation. But Food Bank is great. I've been seeing so many of you making masks for healthcare workers. If I knew how to sew, that would be an incredibly relaxing pastime. But I am so impressed by all of you who are figuring out how to use your voices for good and figuring out how to contribute in any way we can right now. So that's all for me right now. That is my update from my home, and I'll probably see you guys here next week. Bye.